The rain is clean now, but wait till it gets to the goo. Stories keep moving whether you drive them or not. Let's see. Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa-Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He understands why you seek revenge, but he doesn't think you realize how that'll make you feel once you claimed it.
Nothing shines like the dark. Oh, no, wait. Oh, well, you know.
Just when you think there's no hope, hope comes along.
Blinded by the light.
Shining like a brand new day.
Next time, go with your gut. Your dark, dark gut.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Hit the open surf, then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Claims he didn't say that out loud. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old Wrekbox outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a tower tanker hit a reef and went under. You make this look simple. Just a few moves left. Make them count. The day can't come soon enough. Just a few moves left. Make them count. At least you're not coming out of this empty-handed. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive Porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find Quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf-archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find Quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Don't lose your way in the blackness. Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. Good hit. Fan 'em back. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. That's what they call the blight that's been haunting the land since the old world ended in the apocalypse around here. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both genetics and karma in the myriad spectrum. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Says they like your kind. The Sifu asked... Claims to have strange things from the dead zone that are so rare they need to be seen to be believed. It's shopping time. You'd better get a move on if you want to change things. Says everything's changing in these dark coming days. Nothing stays the same. Not even houses. Have you heard of Chubza? Such a wild wanderer. Even his hut moves. But he'd have a lot to talk about with a roamer like you. Figures Chubza's seen things, all sorts of things. Things that might help. Says Chubza isn't the sort to wait in one place for you. They might be looking for you, too. You just got to watch for Chubza and his mobile hut. Asks you to tell him they say hi. Has no doubt you've earned the trust and support of this village. Actions speak louder than words. You did good here. Is always willing to listen. You did good here. That worked out. As long as you're happy about it. You can see the horizon now. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Let's see. If you want the Tree of Life to keep standing, he's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like Quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. Says he read that in an old world book. It means you're an expert of all living things that flap and tweet. Heard you were a somber kid and is glad you crawled out of your shell to help. Gulped. No more goo glue. The Quack Hollow. It's just loonly. Not opening for you. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. Nice shot. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. You could experiment with that. We're all heroes of our own stories, or so we hope. Gun it and go. All ashore that's going ashore. E-waste, the stuff you need. Gulp says he'll bibble anything once, as long as it's drinkalicious, even rocket fuel. He once mixed up some tankers and drank that. It was a real lift-off. That leads him to the bottom of that particular bottle. Radium syrup. If only he could find a tanker truck to empty. He's not in a state to go looking, so he's counting on you to help. Go find him a tanker truck and bring back some of that precious radium syrup. Thinks you're not the only one who... What were we talking about again? That's enough Quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Thrilled to know you're on the side of those. Glad to see you out and says you're welcome. He seems happy to talk. Hopes to see you again soon. That'll soon pay off. Dismounted. A story has got to keep moving forward. tread soft. That's a monster nest, if ever I've seen one. Just check that strong out. All fired up. It's okay to smile at the growing light. There's some bouncy rubber scrap over there. A key for every lock. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. That was fun? Get things done before the darkness falls again. It's the Porky Puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down Out-of-Date's leg. Hook the boom ball and throw it beneath the puff. Unleash the Quacks. Wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another world eater. You're halfway there. He's got word out of date spotted Lupa-Lupin and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it. Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the predator. Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed Lupa-Lupin will stay put until you're there. Got word you found the greatest glider of all, an ark, and it's all good to go. Can't imagine how that would feel, to zoom so fast. Funny that you found an ark when you don't need to go anywhere in it. The world's still going to be here. Proud of you for thinking about helping before escaping, either way. Wonders if there are any open seats left in that fancy ark glider of yours.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Feels thrilled to snag a seat in your ark. Can't wait to glide through the skies. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Says you'll see each other later. That's a hope hall. Some used to go there every week to join hands and hope together. Not so much hope to go around these days. Hold on. Go on, catch it. It's time to create your own path. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa-Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there. hidden deep inside the mountains. Out-of-Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Too bad, but all days must come to an end. Tread carefully here. This is Lupa-Lupin's camp. Lupa-Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy. Only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa-Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. This might be the end of everything as we know it. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Says good. Keep focused on what you can do today. Tomorrow's already gone. You almost slipped past the village of Flibberdit. Monsters sleep here, and they're just as messy as you guess. Try again when you have some key energy. Hot memory. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. Stick in the key. Might keep you dry at least. Finders keepers. That's a little too much for you yet. It's far away. Juju's shop is here somewhere. Let's see.
Anihillo to ma. Seindi.
Juju is just thrilled to finally meet you. Even in these darkest days when the spotlights are growing dim, you're like a fresh outfit. Claims to make clothes that help you make a statement about who you are. Thinks you have the power to steer the fate of the world one way or the other. He wants you not only to save it, but to look fabulous doing so. He knows you have the heart of a hero. He just wants you to look like one too. He tells you to dig deeper into your past and remember how it's all stitched together. You need to follow that thread to figure out who you are and where you're going. Wonders if you ever think about how things might be if you'd chosen one style over another. It's amazing how even a single switch stitch in the right spot can change things. Figures that's good because your suit suits you so well. Likes how the world seems to be getting its act together. Been sliding down too long. Thanks you for darning up the whole holes in the world. It's not a perfect world, but it's the only one that fits. Thinks it's good you're working with the Myriad. The Sifu there has the best taste in styles. Claims to have made his favorite, the one the Sifu wears every day. But that's enough about them. He wants to talk about him. He wonders if you can see it too. The common threads that have sewn everyone together through the years. They're all broken. But fortunately, he's good at smoothing things over, choosing things that are chic and glossing the aesthetics. Most come here to get relief from how ugly the world has become. He works a lot with mood, be it good or bad. Says we bury our dead in their best, not their worst. Why should the end of the world be any different?
Anihillo to ma. Seindi.
Some even think what he does is magic, changing the way you feel with style. That's how he got his nickname, Juju. He's been zigzagging all night. He has a fibre he needs to get done, but he's run out of bobbin. Now his reputation is hanging by a thread. He needs to thread the needle, but the only spare bobbin he knows about, well, he saw it attached to a kite flying free in the wind. He'll do what he can for you if you get him that bobbin. Says you'll get it all stitched up in no time. Juju says it's fantabulous to see you again. Juju. Juju says it's fantabulous to see you. Juju says it's Even up in the mountains, you can't touch the sky. This region is known as the Canuck Stones. You can't find a harder place in the world. You finally found the village of Bumlidoff. Let's see. It's a monster lair for sure. Youch! You have a chance to change the future for good or bad. Hey, there's some e-waste. Find a key that fits. Oh, that's rare. That's an upsy-dumps. Good for learning how to haul up. Don't see that in the shops. You can't really understand your story till it's done. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Says you look trustworthy. Might as well tell you where it is. Focus on the tightrope. It soars like a kite, so it better be one. Latch onto it before it flies away. Reel that in. Juju will be pleased to see you manage to get hold of a bobbin, even though it's the unconventional kind. That's where someone set up camp in a tree. Took care. You're on the ropes. There's a serenity about this spot. It... It's nice. So many places to be today.
Kutto-sa.
Juju is thrilled over the bobbin and the fact that he'll be able to finish the fibre. He believes couture can do that for you, you know. Change the way you feel and also change the way others feel about you. He's prepared something for you while you were away. Do you want it to fit your mood or do you want a change of heart? Fashion can help you define mood, and this should make you more menacing. That's what he wants you to feel when you wear it. Juju thinks it's amazing that you found an ark and are refurbishing it for a launch. No, but he imagines it's incredibly stylish. Supposes that even if the world goes on, you could use the ark to find new places to explore. Just happy the ark wound up in such deft and responsible hands. Not that Juju's asking for a seat, but who's going to pilot that thing for you?
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the ark should you want to offer it.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Thinks you could have chosen someone better, but Juju can't wait to join you on the ark as soon as you're ready. He's invested in helping you look your best. Juju is curious to see what you're interested in. You got the best of that. Despite the fact that Clipper Fingers are in safe hands, he's still lacking something to make his hairsenal complete. Trim's embarrassed. Now he can cut, but he's out of dye. A bad furdo is a shame to you and him both, and you can't have that, can you? He once found some leftover cans of sput dye near the concrete wall paint sites, and they'd do the trick. This time he promises. Just come back with a can of sput dye, and he'll give you that fresh coat you deserve. Figures that will be true. Trim thinks you're still good-looking. Understands. Ah, the Gnote pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see. Feels like you could be blown off the world. Look at those notices on the board. Too bad the Gnotes couldn't read them. If you wander around here, you might find Noko. She just loves those Gnotes. Once the power ran out, it made sense to ride Gnotes, and that tradition continued through the years. Powered types of transportation polluted the world, but didn't poop in the street. Obviously, they didn't have their priorities right in those days. Watch your step here, and you might find tracks of another traveler.
Asilnatu.
Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again.
Kanamunt asana yotpa.
She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her Majut when you were a kid.
Ritsentende.
Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark.
Beri?
But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going.
Amu. Kanamunta.
Is sure they'll come back on their own once you stop forcing them. Hopefully not to haunt you, though. You've suffered enough already.
Ferena masalapu. Monibasa.
Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be.
Andro. Monibasa. Kamonu.
She sees you're back to buck with Lupa-Lupin. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Kanoruta. Pendrinesenema.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Dere. Minalagimamuru. Pendrinesenema.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like, until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Arialoche nui mumera.
Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting Lupa-Lupin to pay for what he did to her Gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
Run, Dark, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
That doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong.
Aplitonumuta. Masama.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Masama.
You can't do everything you want, can't go everywhere, can't see everything, only what you can.
Narolute. Dropal.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the Gnotes die with it.
Kialdo male canodo. Ferena masalapu.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Andro?
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the nights too.
Kala. Kamonu.
They're just so shiny, makes her smile to think about them.
Andro?
But let's not speak of that now.
Dere?
She has an idea where the Majut might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the Majut Meadow.
Pial tu ma puri kumbalamuma.
The Majut will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Arialoche nui mumera.
You should lead the Majut back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the World Eater.
Inadabzunka?
It's the most magnificent creature she's ever encountered. A creature straight out of a dream or story. Found it, even under all the muck in the Gnote pen. Hard to believe the Gnotes didn't trample it. They seem faster than you, and don't forget that when you ride them, they do all the work to keep you moving. You should keep moving. Can't let those Gnotes blaze the trails for you. The mountains stretch higher than the clouds. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. There should be more cliffs here. Handy. You found the Majut meadow. Watch out for the Majut. Well placed. Shot through. The world is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Smarten up.
Ritsentende, Amun.
Now that the Majut is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned.
Pendrin senema.
She says the Majut is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down.
Canoruta, tropalo.
The Majut once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down.
Pendrin senema. Taifanamenuma. Ferenama salapu.
She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the Majut by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time.
Tropalo. Andro? Ferenama salapu.
She figures the choosies from the old world are made from gummy trees, but wouldn't be surprised if they were actually made from some chemical concoction, though. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? Need a key. That's the good stuff. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. Better hold on to that. Want to get your arms swole? Grab those guns flexors and get pumping that iron. Got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. Tippy tapper. So fast. Bolted shut. You shouldn't flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark. That's a motored blind box dispenser. These auto markets were quite popular in the long gone for those who had coin left for fun. Cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate the dispenser. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you see is what you get. Once it's out of the blind box, that is. The world is taller than you think.
Berry?
With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the Majut calms down. But Noko is still concerned.
Anaro lote. Gala. Andro?
She's relieved the Majut has calmed down, but you'll need a heavier sit-tight to ride it than the one she's got.
Brumblele marsamambu.
The only sit-tight she can think of that would be heavy enough is one she's spotted mounted on an old-world mecha-Majut.
Apli tonumuta. Anora kapapon.
If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo Shopperia while scavenging for treats for the Gnotes. That's not so far away.
Kanamunta. Urasa durut.
Seems to her they preferred the Mechamajuts over the living counterparts in the old world. Maybe the Gnotes were near extinct.
Puri kumbalamua.
Noko is always willing to help.
Brumblele marsamambu.
Fate is funny that way, but it won't always make you laugh. Why, you made it to Hoofer. There's a living thing trader somewhere around here. Let's see. Looking for a bargain. A sealed deal. A Smilo Shopperia. Guess shopping here put a smile on your face. Boxes like this are few and far between. However, that's no great loss. Talking pictures from the aforetimes lacked a message. Just a few moves left. Make them count. As the iBox broadcasts, it's hit or miss, but when it does hit, it's usually right in the fields. Oh, it's locked. No windows to look out at the sky from down here. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Now hold on. Sit tight. Isn't that the Mechamajut over there? You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the Mechamajut. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The sit-tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit-tight back to Nocco. Careful in the mountains. Falling is awful. Landing is worse. Now that the Majut's got a mouthful of Bon Gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the Majut is ready to ride. Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it. She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe. You'll find Mito at Bright Light. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths. They're small airborne creatures with bright reflective wings and a conspicuous fluttering flight. What you do here matters to you and the world. Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it. And even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Figures that doesn't make it any less worth fighting. You've found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Hopes you see how much good you can do with power like that, and how easy it is to let it drive you mad. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past bright lights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had upon the world. Your presence changes things like light changes darkness. Did you realize that when choosing where to shine? Says he can see that in the way you brighten everything up. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Whatever happens to the world, you shone as bright as you could. That matters more than you know. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the Myriad. They buy lots of his lamps. That's a tribe that believes in the bright things in the world. It's clear you do. Nothing shines as bright as being right. Says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. There's something about you. like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So, why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right. Claims you both walk in different types of darkness, but you guide yourself by the same light. Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too. He reckons you haven't seen a glitter moth, and says it's about time you did. Even though they're nesting near gone grass, they never run out of glow. Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end. Figures you should do it if you want to become as enlightened as him. This place is called Brightlight. Mito lives close by. For a beastie, this mount is so gentle. Don't know what that e-waste was. Ah, see that e-waste? Always handy. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. Life is a difficult game, no matter how you play it. Reserves are tapped. Great shot. Glittermoth Cave is right here. You can see a lot farther now than at night.
Aria roche nui mumera.
That's enough glitter moths to make her plan work.
Moni basa.
She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World Eater. The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time. She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies mountains. So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf. It reminds her of the gnotes and, like them, it's hoofed. They're just a lot bigger. History is nothing but a series of stories. You should be able to use that. That sealed the fate of the third World Eater. Just one more to go. Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan. This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large. Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again. She wonders if the rumors she's heard about you finding the Ark are true. Thinks that's impossible, of course, but she also knows you regularly make the impossible happen. With the world recovering, the Ark would be a wonderful way to see it, so much faster than even her favorite Gnotes. Loves that you did your best to help the world rather than hurt it. You could have used much more of that, even before you returned. Any idea who might be joining you on your Arky journeys?
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why? You don't need anyone else but you.
If you want to go quickly.
But you know you can't go on.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Feels deeply honored that you'd want her to come with you. An Ark is no Gnote, but she can't pass this up. She's coming aboard. Noko knows she's known for saying things over. Wishes... Nothing you can do to stop the night. Go on, catch it. You need to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it. Out of Date thinks the time has come to end the conflict between the tribes. There won't be any winners in this war. You should know it's not too late to change direction by visiting another tribe's fort. However, it might be best to stick with the tribe you've chosen already. He believes it'll take someone with a light perspective and key to counterbalance the Sifu's energy in the end. Regardless of the outcome, you need to play your part and conclude the conquest. It'll be over soon. Out of Date reminds you that the time has come to end the tribe war. He's happy to help. Has plenty to do, so no worries.